Hear me?
Yes, I can
Then
hear you, East. So, everybody, we have East Mountain Films, the creator of Track Easter Bunny CC, the tracker that we have on screen and have been using for the past few years now. And we're going to be interviewing him. It is unfortunately his final year running this tracker, but we are very excited to be using this tracker for the final time. I would say, first of all, before I get into questions, anything you want to start off with, East?
I have nothing.
All right.
I'm here
Yes.
for another year of tracking, and there, I'm trying to set up my title screen, which is not going. Oh, come on, the keyboard range is like 2 feet on this. What's going on here? Anyway, yeah, I mean, I made the tracker. I run the whole thing. I don't know how this happened, but here we are for the sixth Easter in a row. The last one.
Yes.
The track will not be coming back. There's going to be no half retirement. This is truly the end. I've pulled that stunt before, and this is actually it for
Yes.
realsies.
I swear this is like the fourth year in a row. Oh, I'm retiring.
Yeah, that was. We all knew that was a lie.
Well, I mean, to get into the first question, why are you quitting?
Um, so I have the reason in my stream chat. Um, I am graduating in a couple months from college, and I will be out in the real world paying rent and paying real expenses. So mostly it comes down to two things. Number one, monetarily, that this tracker manages to put a pretty big dent in my wallet every Easter, and I'm able to handle that for now, but I can't in the future. And also, it takes time to run this tracker, and being up all of Easter weekend,
Yeah,
which does get pretty tiring after a while. So
I
I
bet.
am going to be thankful that next Easter I can sleep in. I'm very much looking forward to that.
I bet. Have you ever considered giving up on TEPC when you were first making it?
First making it. No, I think it was meant to be a private tracker for my stream, and then I thought I should make it public because it was like pretty good, and so I made it public. But no, I don't think I ever wanted to give up on it.
Is the tracker real? Somebody asked.
Yes, it's real. It is real. It's as real as it gets.
Yeah, I was gonna say it is like the realest thing you can get. Somebody asked, "How do you know EB?"
I just do somehow. I don't know how, but I do.
I guess you don't want to elaborate to that.
I'm not elaborating on that.
Okay, fair enough. What job are you gonna get after you shut down the site, or do you already have another job? Somebody
Uh,
asked.
I do have a part-time job in software engineering, which should be a full-time job once I graduate. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm still doing software engineering. That's kind of what that's my whole jazz. That's my whole jam. So yeah, I'm gonna continue down that road and coding and all that good stuff.
Awesome. What inspired you to create track.easterbunny.cc?
Um, it's a long story, but I can give you the long story.
Sure.
Um, so it must have been, I think when was it? It was 2017, and I like remembered it was Christmas. I was like, oh, I remember doing Santa tracking as a kid. I wonder if anyone streams it on YouTube, and so I checked, and the streams on YouTube were interesting to say the least. They were like not they're not the best quality, so I decided to fire OBS and stream it by myself, and I got like over 1,000 peak concurrent viewers, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I didn't expect this, and then not that long later, I found out about Easter Bunny tracking, and then I found out about Track Easter Bunny and the CP trackers that was around, and I was going to use the CP trackers for my 2018 Easter stream, and then their site went down. So I was able to sort of recreate it and hack together my own Easter Bunny tracker, and everyone on stream loved it, which was really funny. So I thought, all right, I'm gonna challenge myself to make like a real time Easter Bunny tracker with live updates, moving map, all that good jazz. And for 2019, I did that, and then I was like, you know what? Why am I making this exclusive to my stream? That's kind of dumb. So I made the tracker public in 2019, and the rest is history. And then people started using it, and I'm like, oh wow, there's a lot of people who like this. So it was a very unintentional rise to fame. This was not planned. This was meant to be a
Yeah.
private tracker for my stream, and now here we are going toe to toe with Track Easter Bunny.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, interesting thing about the CP trackers, that was like kind of my go-to tracker several years ago. And then one year, yeah, I just saw that it just disappeared, and then I was forced to use the other tracker. But I'm very glad that you came in the past several years with TEBCC because it has been a game changer. How hard was it to make the tracker?
Um, Not easy. It's not been easy. Um, I wouldn't say overly hard, but maybe I'm giving myself too much credit to my coding skills. But it's been a fun challenge. It's had its moments, but it's never been too much of a challenge other than like I don't know. No, it hasn't been that bad to make this tracker, surprisingly. It's not the worst thing in the world to develop.
Yeah,
Maybe in the past, before I refactored the tracker last year, it was starting to become a bit of a pain to maintain it.
I
And
bet.
I think some years running quality assurance, and especially I think for 2020, when we did a boatload of QA testing and was finding some of the most obscure bugs you could find.
Hmm.
Web development is a pain and a half. You don't know what devices people are coming from.
Yeah.
And this is attested by the fact that every year in the logs, I do in fact see people visiting the tracker from their smart fridge and from their
Wow.
Teslas, and a couple people still hanging out on Windows XP. So, as part of testing, I do in fact try to test against those oddball targets and make sure the tracker will work on them. So, that is one thing that can be a bit of a pain, is testing on all the different web browser or trying to test on as many as I can.
Yeah,
That's probably the hardest part, is the testing of it all.
I bet.
Um, so, but otherwise, not too bad. Not too bad to make it.
Yeah. Dancing Forever says, not gonna lie, I feel like he secretly went outside when the Easter Bunny was there and attached a tracker to the Easter Bunny.
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. Who knows? You'll never know.
Never know. How many years have you been doing your website? What year did you start?
TEBCC started in 2019, so this makes it the fifth year in operation, 6 Easters. So it's been around for a hot minute.
Somebody asked, what's your opinion on jazz music to falling asleep to?
I think I put that in there.
Oh, you did?
What's the name on the question? Is it East Mountain Films?
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
see
that's
that now. I
yours.
see that now.
Well, my opinion on jazz music to fall asleep to is great. I think it's the best music genre
Yeah,
to
agreed.
conk out to after watching tracking for 24 plus hours. I
Hmm.
think there's nothing better than that. And that's why I made the music orchestrator for my live stream, to
Hmm.
specifically dynamically have it go into lower speed jazz at night so that it's much easier to fall asleep to.
Hmm.
That I think that was the primary reason why I made that thing.
Yeah.
because I knew at that point it's incredible. So many people I think leave my stream running in the background with the jazz music
Mm-hmm.
and literally fall asleep to it.
Yeah.
Um, because whenever we play a meme song, you'll see the viewer count drop a little bit because people are like, "What is that coming from my TV?" and they turn it off or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think jazz is great. Um, but I think I'll be happy to not have to hear it every Easter and have to hear it for like an entire day on it. It
I
does get a little
yeah.
time.
Yeah. I understand that. I've been using the same playlist for 4 or 5 years now, and literally the songs are ingrained into my head. Like I cannot separate my brain from our playlist.
Yeah,
Wait, like the
sometimes I'll be
tracking
watching
playlist?
YouTube. I'll be watching YouTube and because I use Epidemic Sound and other YouTubers use Epidemic
Mm-hmm.
Sound, I'll hear one of their background tracks and it will be a song I've used on stream. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I know that one.
Mm-hmm. Lauren asks, what is your role as the creator of this Easter Bunny tracker?
My role?
Just in terms of like, how much did you? Because I know you're the main person of this tracker, but I know you've had some help. So like, just what's I don't know, just what's your like main role of this tracker, and what have you
95% of
done
this tracker.
specifically?
I think I've done 95% of this track
Mm-hmm.
development. In version 4, we had some help from the people on my Discord server and kind of helping out with like testing and
Mm-hmm.
development, all that good stuff. But largely since then for V5, 5.6, 6, 7, it's been me. It's been a solo operation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing everything.
How does the tracker know where the Easter Bunny is?
It just does with incredible accuracy. I think there's a FAQ answer that goes more in detail. I don't remember it right now, but you can look in the FAQs, and I think it will tell you where and how we get the data for the tracker.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and you have some satellites, don't you?
We do. We do have some, which is pretty epic.
For sure. What are you looking forward to other than sleep after the tracker ends?
Um, I don't know. I think it'll be nice to just like I don't know. Like I think this product's been running for so long now, and um, it's kind of at the point where it's had a big impact on people's lives, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like I think it's run its course at this point. But I'm definitely looking forward to just having Easter's off, I suppose,
Yeah,
but
I bet.
also kind of seeing I'm very curious what crops up after TEBCC goes away. I'm very interested what the landscape's going to look like for 2025. Because
I
I
bet.
was
Yeah.
thinking that in the 5 years that this tracker has been running, that Track Easter Bunny or someone else would come up with something and compete with me properly.
Yeah.
Um, and that never happened. And I was always thinking this tracker would never run forever.
Uh-huh.
This would only be like a temporary thing, but that never happened. So I kept running it, and just for new features, I just came up with ideas to improve the tracker. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's like, oh, what if I tried this or tried that? Um, so, which is why I think it's funny that this tracker has a ridiculously insane settings page. Like I don't know I don't know why this tracker has a settings page with 6 sections in it, but it does, which is really funny.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so any new feature added to this has just been to challenge myself to
Yeah.
just see if I can implement it and get it done. But
Yeah, I'm really looking forward
yeah,
to the like full metrics that you can see at
yeah, the
once.
multi-metric finally. That I don't know
Yes.
why that took until now to implement. It should have been on my radar for a long time, and I think the after I did the React refactor, it would have been able to happen, but I, I was just time constraints. Last year, it got
Mm-hmm.
it got cut off. But I think it's quite poetic in a way that the final year, the feature that really should have been there since the start,
Yeah.
viewing all metrics at once, finally here. So you get it for 1 year and no more. which is really funny.
Yeah.
But there's also other things to look forward to. Metrics and pre-tracking, trying to make that less boring. So finally, you'll be able to see the baskets prepared and loaded in pre-tracking, which will be
Awesome.
really nice. What other features are in here? Stop pronunciation's nice, so you can get the
Yes.
speech of every stop, except it pronounces Kiribati wrong, so I had to put a
Yeah.
note in there to say whenever you click on a stop
Mhm.
in Kiribati that the pronunciation is wrong. Do not
Yep.
say it Kiribati.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so
Would
I don't know
you
what the original question was. But that's
Yeah, would you ever consider like getting back in to the tracker at any point down the road?
probably not. So at some point, I actually I emailed the people at Track Easter Bunny,
Mhm.
and I asked them, I offered them the tracker and its IP for a sum of money, just because I wanted the
Mhm.
tracker to live on. And honestly, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You're getting all this technology and whatnot,
Mhm.
to wrangle with open source licenses. They declined it. They did not want to
Yeah.
buy it from me. Um, so the two routes the tracker was going was either it was going to get acquired by Tab, or I was going to shut it down
Yeah.
and open source the tracker, and
Mhm.
it's the second option.
Mhm.
But I have no intention of coming back. As fun as it's been, the many late nights do a number on you. Every year, they do a number. So I am looking forward to getting my Easter and Christmas
Oh
weekends
yeah,
back.
for sure. That actually answers the next question. Are you planning on selling the tracker for someone else to run, or are you just going to shut it down? There you go. That also answers that question.
Yeah, and I think the open source is the best of both worlds, so that
Yeah.
other people can continue to build on what the tracker has built, but it's licensed in a way
Mhm.
that whatever you build, whatever you modify, if you put it on the internet, you have to distribute your modified
Mhm.
source code with it, so it keeps the tracker open source forever. So if you ever see Track Easter Bunny ending up incorporating the technology in TEBCC, they have to open source it. They
Yeah.
can't get around that. So that was the one qualm of open sourcing that I wanted to make sure is that this
Mhm.
tracker would not, there wouldn't be a way where legally speaking, someone could
Yeah.
modify it, make it private, make it private,
Mhm.
whatever. So
Somebody asked, did the Easter Bunny approve of you tracking them?
yes, I did get permission from the Easter Bunny to do
Good.
this.
Good. What is your favorite Easter candy?
Chocolate, chocolate, any form of chocolate. Honestly, it doesn't. It's not even limited to Easter. I love chocolate.
Yeah. And it looks like we're coming up on or at least our final question in the Google form here. Is there any other accurate tracker that we can use? Eve asks.
Could always use track Easter Bunny. I know our mission. The whole point of TEBCC, and if you go onto the news page and you scroll all the way down that ginormous news page, at the very, very first post that we made was it says, I hate track Easter Bunny, and a lot of you probably hate it too. It's got too much going on at once. The actual tracker's a nightmare, given you need to refresh it to get the latest data, and overall, it's a nightmare. That's why last year I made my own tracker in about 3 weeks, data extraction from Easter Island. So this entire tracker was made because Track Easter Bunny sucks. And now, I think it's quite poetic that now Track Easter Bunny will now be the only tracker on the planet.
Yeah,
But they can use our core technology
I know.
if they open source it. I mean, I offered, but so
Yeah, that is unfortunate, but luckily, I became aware of a tracker that's currently in development for 2025 that has no ties to Track Easter Bunny. It is a different company, so at least that is good news for 2025. But
yeah, I
we
think a lot
will
of people, a lot of
absolutely,
people are gonna
yes,
make Easter Bunny trackers that are
I'm
based
sure.
off of TEBCC.
I'm sure. Yeah, I am
I
absolutely
think
sure.
and I think probably if I'm not mistaken, I think the one you're mistaken is the people behind STL.
Yes.
Um, yeah, already their Senate tracker that's based on TEBCC code. So it
Mm-hmm.
under the hood it will be TEBCC.
Okay.
And I think any modern tracker you're going to see coming online in the next like year or two will more than likely be based on TEBCC's underlying code base.
Yeah, I'm sure. Nothing else can beat Tepsi. That's all I gotta say. Does anybody have any more questions before we wrap this up?
No, but I said it earlier and I'll say it again. Honestly, thank you. Look, you for doing this for so long, you deserve this. It does suck to see you go, but thank you.
Yes, I absolutely am on the same page there. Thank you for changing the way we track for the past several years. You have no idea how much that I feel like you've had an impact on this community and just everything in general. I'm just glad people were able to witness a tracker, like somebody who actually cares about what they're putting out. So thank you so much, East.
Yeah. Um, there's still another year to go. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not over yet.
Yep.
It's not over. We are just getting started for one more year. So
Yes.
don't let the tears roll in just
No,
yet.
but like I'm just regardless. Like, thank you for
Yes.
everything that you did for this community.
We got one more. We got one
I
more
know, but I'm
final
still
rodeo
saying
here.
it.
We like to look on the
We got
future here at AML. But
we have
seriously.
one more final rodeo that will involve a
Yes.
tracker that doesn't crash 30% of the time in
Yes.
production. That
Absolutely.
won't be happening this year. Hooray! That's why your streams did well last year. That would be why. That was a really
Yes.
fun misconfiguration on my end that I didn't really that I kind of saw in testing and development, and I
Mm-hmm.
thought nothing of it, and it turned out to be a massive issue. And
Yeah.
it's not good. Whoops. So hopefully this year that won't happen.
Last question. Somebody asked, when does the Easter Bunny take off?
I'm so glad you asked. The Easter Bunny officially lifts off, the Easter Bunny begins preparing for liftoff, 2 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the time you see on the screen, the countdown. 3 hours of final preparations leaves you at 5 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So that's 4 hours and 12 minutes from now. And that's when the Easter Bunny will actually lift off for 25 hours of tracking, and it'll come back to Easter Island around 6 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, although I have gotten word the East 20 may be spending a little longer out and about. So it may not
Okay.
end exactly at 6 a.m. It may end a little
Okay.
later than 6. We'll just have to see.
That is good to know. Somebody does ask, though, before we wrap this up, are you deleting your channel, East Mountain Films, or are you going to leave it up?
No, I'm going to leave it up.
Okay.
I'm not deleting the channel. Nah.
That's good.
You know,
hear.
what would happen if I, if I had to publish bathroom toilet paper dispenser hack 2 and I didn't have a chance, I didn't have a platform to do that. That would be really disappointing.
Yes.
So, or the sequel to the video how to check storage space on a PS3. Like, what happens if I want to publish how to check storage space on a PS5? I need a platform to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So the channel will not be going anywhere. It will remain an archive of all of this. All the time left is 2. So it will remain up.
That is good.
Don't you worry.
All right, well, I think that's about it. We are nearly an hour until the Easter Bunny starts making preparations on Easter Island.
Charlie says that they think that you make kids and adults happy with all the different fun things.
What was that, Michael?
Charlie just in the YouTube chat says that they think East made kids happy and adults with all the different fun things he's provided.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, East. Anything you want to say before you start preparing for this final year?
Um, I have no words. Other than let's see how many hits we get this year.
Yes.
We'll find out. Maybe I don't know. I think it would be doable to get over 100,000 on this tracker this year. I think we can do it.
Yes.
But wouldn't it be cool in the final year to like push that number as high
Yes.
as it can go? 150, 200,000? That would be crazy.
Yes.
That'd be crazy if it was 200,000, but who knows? We will see what happens. And once tracking is over, and then now there's a little more tracking time at the end. Hey, that gives like a little bit more time for the hit counter to go up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited to see when, because usually in the very start of tracking, Australia wakes up and uses the tracker pretty heavily. It's actually crazy how many people from Australia use this tracker.
Wow.
It has accounted. It usually comes in as number 2 on the countries every year, and it seems like there's even more people this year so far, just preliminary statistics coming from Australia. So I'm very, very curious to see how much Australia shows up this morning on the analytics. So we'll see.
Yeah, let's make this a record-breaking year for you, and everybody give all the love and support to East Mountain Films. Go to his channel, East Mountain Films. You know, tune into his last live stream. Tune in, track.easterbunny.cc. Give him all the love and the support for his final year. Thank you guys so much for watching this awesome interview with East. Thank you so much, East.
So, am I now getting demoted from being a manager?
Yeah, unfortunately, East. Unless you want to join AML, and then maybe we can bump you up to manager.
I changed so much in this community.
Yeah, we're always
so much was
looking
done
for people.
And wow, what a great 3-hour stint this was of management.
Yes.
Really gonna be
the fun of stick around. We could always need you.
Absolutely.
Well,
no, I'm kidding. You don't have to. You don't want to.
Well, enjoy the stream and yeah, have fun. Have fun with the tracker. Go crazy.
Yes, we will. Happy Easter, man.
You too as well. All right. Until 2 a.m. Have fun watching the countdown.
We will. See ya.
One consistent thing all these years later. Countdown. Well, yeah. Oh, it's gonna go. It's gonna lose the hour in like 7 minutes.
Wow, time went by so fast.
For the last time. Well,
thank you, East.
Of course. Thanks for having me, and that's all. That's all I got.
All right. See ya.